Hi, everyone, and welcome to your full moon in Capricorn reading. Remember, this is not just for Capricorns, it is for everyone because I'm going to go through each zodiac sun sign or rising sign, if that's what you're using. And I'm going to give you the area where that energy will be the strongest in your chart or in your life at this time. Okay, so we are going to talk about what the Capricorn energy is, and we're going to start with Capricorn's key phrase, which is I use. What does it mean, and where is it going to show up in your life this full moon cycle, and how can you use that energy to your advantage? It's Capricorn energy here. That energy is determined, it's ambitious, it can be conservative and cautious, and more often than not, it is wise and mature. It is important to tell you that Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and that is where the no nonsense attitude or energy comes from because Saturn likes discipline, a strong work ethic, and being in control or having the power. It wants to succeed with an intensity that sometimes leads straight to success or sometimes leads to learning lessons the hard way. And because this full moon is all about releasing and letting go of what no longer serves you or your highest good, clearing out the proverbial clutter, ending the cycle so that you have room to plant seeds for your new moon dreams and wishes in a couple of weeks. If maybe you're too conservative or too cautious, or if you are a workaholic or a control freak or a power hungry, those might be some of the things, if it's not benefiting you in your life, that you might want to release and let go on. But I'm going to tell you what area it will be in. You will read for that when you look up for your rising or sun sign. Now that we know what the Capricorn I use energy is, let's take a look at where it is showing up for each zodiac sign. I always say watch for your rising sign first because it will resonate the most. If you don't know your rising sign, you can watch for your zodiac sun sign. Okay. If you need help with that, leave me a note. I will show you free of charge how to do that. Okay. If you don't know your rising sign. And if you want to book a personalized full moon reading based on your very own birth chart, there is a link to my website here on my YouTube page. Okay. So let's get right into this. And remember, at the end, there is also going to be a pick a card tarot reading for those of you who maybe don't want to work and release and let go in the particular area that you read for. You can come in and I will give you other areas that you can work on with this full moon Capricorn energy. Okay, I will see you there. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second part of this full moon with Capricorn energy. Okay, so you've just read for either your rising sign or your sun zodiac sign, okay? But let's say you've decided you want to release and let go in more areas of your life. There will be areas in these sets of cards. Or if you want to maybe work on another area. Maybe you've already dealt with the area that you read for, or it's just not resonating with you right now. You know what? Come to one of these piles or come to both of them, and I will be giving you more areas, as well as maybe some advice, guidance, whatever else happens to show up, okay? So you can pick either pile 1 or pile 2. Make your choice, and I will see you there. Hi to those of you who chose pile 1 in this card. I'm just going to set it to the side. Actually, I'll set it right up here, and we'll get into that later, okay? But let's get a look at these cards right here. The first 3 I pull out, I don't confirm with tarot, okay? So we'll just get right into it this way. 120 degrees. That is a trine on your chart. What trines are, they are like effortless gifts. Sometimes they're just things that we are good at and we don't even know we're good at them because it is just so effortless, right? So that's what a trine is. I'll also just read what the card says. It says fluency, ease, talent, development, privilege, aptitude, self-comfort, temper, laziness, intelligence. Sometimes the laziness comes up because if it is something that you are just naturally good at or effortlessly good at, they say laziness because it might be an area that's really important for you in your life, but you don't really put much into it because it just comes so easy. So it's almost like this is coming out, I feel, for you today, pile 1, because Spirit is saying, well, you know what? Maybe there is something that you're really talented at that's just really fluid and easy in your life, but you need to develop it more. Okay, so there is a message for you right there. We don't have a house out of this, but there is a message. There is something that maybe you need to develop a little bit stronger for yourself. Okay, let's also get this. Okay, here we have a house. Pisces. Pisces rules the 12th house. Okay, so this one here says hostility and enmity. Do not allow your ego to blind your soul. Offer benevolence to those who despise you. Okay, love that message. That could be a specific message for someone, okay? Let me just get into the rest of the cards here. Oh, my little candle is going out. Uh-oh, come on, little candle. Stay with us. Sometimes candles do that, and I hate it when it happens because this has such a nice scent to it. But let's get right into the next card. We have self-love. Okay, so for some of you, self-love may be of importance here, okay? This is a message for you about self-love, loving yourself. And the thing with this self-love card, number 6 could be important to you, okay? But what I want to say is self-love is also nurturing, okay? It's treating yourself. It's showing yourself love and kindness and compassion, even in the moments where you feel you don't deserve it. Okay, so that may be an important message for someone as well. I feel like it's showing yourself the love, the kindness, the caring, the compassion, showing yourself the beauty, even when you feel there's no beauty to see or that you aren't deserving of any of those things. But what I do want to touch back on here is something I talk about a lot, especially when I do not an astrology reading, but a natal chart reading, which is astrology, yes, but you always want your ego and your soul, your heart and your mind working together. You can't have your ego blinding your soul, nor can you have your soul blinding your ego. You can't have it head over heart or heart over head. You have to have a good balanced blend of both. Okay, now let's get into the rest of your cards here. Oh, sorry. I didn't even tell you. I said Pisces 12th house, which is your intuition, your unconscious mind, your imagination, your dreams, spirituality, solitude, right? Self-reflection, healing even. The hidden or the unseen, the mystical and the magical. It can also have to do with, and we are talking about full moon here, so releasing and letting go, anything to do with escapism, withdrawal, addictions, self-sabotage. And this is Cancer energy. So think about, you know, Capricorn, did I say Cancer? So sorry. Capricorn energy, you know, can sometimes be very disciplined and a strong work ethic, and even sometimes a workaholic. Is there something there that you have to let go of? Do you withdraw from, say, family, friends, even colleagues, and just bury yourself in your work? Do you escape through your work? All right. Are you addicted, as in it takes over anything and causes self-sabotage in the other areas of your life? Could it just be that when it comes to any of the things that I did mention, are you maybe just a little too, I want to say, on the straight and narrow with it? It's like, it has to be this way. It has to be my way. There is no other way. And if you think about your intuition, that's kind of your ego kind of blinding your emotions and your soul, right? So that real stern Capricorn energy ruled by Saturn, where do you need to release and let go in that 12th house? Let's take a look now at the next card, which is a personal issue reaches resolution. That could be a message for some of you right there, okay? Maybe for some of you, I'll just move this over a bit, a personal issue is going to reach resolution. Maybe it's something that you've been waiting on, but it's also full moon in Cancer, and I'm going to get a tarot with this because we just want a little more information, okay, before I talk about that 4th house. A personal issue reaches resolution. Let's get a tarot here. Education, Page of Swords. Okay, it could be education. For some of you, maybe you've been waiting on a resolution when it comes to something to do with education, all right? That could very well be it. I feel the cards come out with what they come out with for a reason. But what I also want to say about that is, with the Page of Swords, and it's the 4th house, right? Home, family, ancestry, nurturing yourself and others. We talked about that back here with the self-love, inner emotions, and security. Are you just being so serious here, pile 1, that you feel, no, there's no time for self-love. I need to be dedicated and determined and moving forward, and I need to put the hard work in, and there's no time for sappiness here. But I feel like... and it's not sappy, but you understand where I'm going with it. This is Spirit coming in and saying, no, you need to have a little bit of a sappy moment here, all right? You need to find ways here with the Page of Swords, who's very young and excited and loves new ways of doing things, has new great ideas about new ways of doing things. And maybe you need to think of those new ways that even while you can still be, how do we say it? You can still be very serious. You can still be very determined and dedicated, but you can still show yourself some love here too. You can still develop this talent that, or whatever it may be, that you find easy in life. You can do that. And it even says self-comfort too. So, you know what? I feel like this is a big message for you besides what we're doing here for the different areas or the different houses. So go back and read about the 12th house and the 4th house, okay? And figure out when it comes to home and family where things may be a little too disciplined. Maybe it's where things maybe you like to be a little too controlling when it comes to family, home, or like I said, again, with nurturing yourself. So You've got to think of new ways of doing it. You've got to get up into that mind space and come up with some new creative ways. All right, so far we have 4th and 12th. Next, we have dark side of the moon, mystery. Love that. Okay, let's get a tarot with that, because I feel like this is something that's maybe hidden away, which also I think speaks to that 12th house, right? Kind of in your unconscious mind, the hidden, the unseen, the mystery of it all. Is there something that you need to bring out into the light? And when you bring it out into the light, it's because you need to release and let go of it, right? So let's just get an idea here with a tarot. Maybe a little bit more. 9 of Pentacles. Could it be something around money? Comfort. We talked about self-comfort back here. Self-love here. All right. Could the dark side of the moon or this mystery that you need to bring out, does it have something to do with you being too stern, strict, setting up a real tight boundary around something when it comes to your own personal comfort, when it comes to your own personal comfort with money? Are you setting boundaries so tight when it comes to money that it's all about work, 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 save, 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 and you don't even allow yourself to spend a little bit of that money on some of the creature comforts of life, right? The things that just make you feel good or feel a little bit better. That could be something for you right there. Now let's go to the next one. We have last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. We're really doubling down here on that 12th house, okay? I feel like we've had Pisces again. So there's definitely something for you, pile 1, in that 12th house that you need to work on releasing and letting go. Okay, so when I get multiple houses coming up like over and over again, and I even said I kind of feel like this is a little 12th house, or even here with the self-love and the Cancer, I feel like it's really important. And if you've already read for the 4th or the 12th house, wow, then that's like a triple down on it, okay? But let's get a card here. I also feel, again, with that Capricorn energy, there's something in that 12th house where you're very, very focused and stern and determined and dedicated, or have strong boundaries around. And it's kind of like talk less, feel more. We need to have a little more feeling, a little more of the Cancer, a little more self-love. Whether it's about whatever you're doing or just about when it comes to yourself in that area, because that Capricorn energy is all about your career too, right? Like that's the house that it rules, your career, how you're seen in the world, how you want to be seen in the world. And look, we have 8 of Swords. It's almost like you're talking so much, you're so far up in your brain here that you have actually put yourself into your own little mental prison, and now you're having a hard time of breaking out of it. But that's what you want to release and let go of, okay? So that could be the message for some of you. You're releasing and letting go of putting yourself up in your own mental prison. Okay, setting such a tight, I want to say, boundary or perimeter that, you know what, you're shutting all feeling out and you're just going based on ego mind, ego mind. So I find it interesting that this card came out with don't allow your ego to blind your soul. In other words, talk, think less, feel more. But remember, we want it to be balanced. Now, I'm going to pull another card here because I want to get another house for you potentially. We have the 4th and the 12th. But we want these things to be effortless and smooth for you. So when you're releasing and letting go here with this trine information, it's also about developing the talent, like I talked about at the beginning. But we want these areas of your life to just be running smoothly, okay? We have Virgo. Choose duties and responsibilities carefully. Eclipse in Virgo. Reorganization. Maybe it's time to do a little bit of reorganization in these areas, the 12th and 4th house. and now the 6th house, which also has to do with your work, okay? But it's more of the day-to-day, the daily routine, your job, your work, your duties and responsibilities, right? Choose duties and responsibilities carefully. It could have to do with your health and wellness, even for some of you, if that resonates, and service to other people. Okay, so you may have to, maybe you're being a little too stern and strict in those areas, and you need to release and let go somewhere in there when it comes to those things I just mentioned about the 6th house, but go back and read about it as well. Now I'm going to flip this card over because I am curious to see. I just randomly picked it, something for you to choose from, but also it could have a message in here that you need to hear. Failure is only learning. I move with confidence and resilience. See, I want to say with that Capricorn energy surrounding this full moon, one of the things about Capricorn energy and Saturn energy being its ruler, it doesn't like to fail, right? It wants to know, it wants to be in charge, it wants to be the person everyone goes to, it wants to be making, say, for example, all the money in leadership roles. Well, you can move with confidence and resilience, absolutely. But there is going to be failure sometimes too. And maybe the message here for some of you in pile 1 is you need to learn to let go of fear of failure and realize that, you know what, I'm failing. I need to use this as a learning lesson and not as a, I'm no good. This is horrible. I don't know. Just think of Capricorn energy and just being really hard on yourself. I'm going to get one more of the Moon Magic cards here, okay? Just to see if there's any other information that Spirit, God, Source, Universe, whomever it is for you, would love for you to know. I shine my light outwards for all to see. Yeah, don't be afraid. I mean, there's nothing wrong with standing out, but I feel that you may have to release and let go. Maybe for some of you, that fear of shining your light out, okay? It could be that message for you as well. There's all kinds of little nuggets in here. One of these things I've said, or maybe a few of them, or all of them are resonating. It will be different for different people. But this is pile 1, your message, your additional houses, 4th, 6th, 12th. You know what? Go in and take a read about those. And again, with that Capricorn energy attached to it, and figure out what you need to release and let go of in those areas. Okay, thank you. And if you wish, you can go to pile 2. If not, I will see you next time. Hi to those of you who chose pile 2. I haven't looked at this card yet. I'm just going to set it aside. All right. And we're going to get into the first 3 cards here, pile 2. Like I said, these could be areas that you want to do in addition to or in place of what you've already read for. The first 3 cards I don't clarify with tarot. I just bring them out. North Node. Okay, that's not actually giving us a house, but it is going to give us a message. Okay, so with the North Node, that is the path that you're meant to be on this lifetime. We can call it your destiny. We can also call it a challenge, because the opposite of the North Node is the South Node, which are the things that maybe you've brought through from past lives that you may not even be aware of, because we're normally not aware of our past lives. Some of you may have had readings on it, so you are. But what this is, with the South Node, we fall back on those things that just seem to come naturally. Sometimes we don't even know why. So, but for some of you, this is about finding your destiny. Okay? What is it that you were meant to do? I do astrology readings. I do natal chart readings. If you're interested in one, there is a link to my website. Check out my pricing. My pricing is in Canadian dollars. But you know what? If you're in the US or maybe some other countries, you'll be paying far less. So check them out. It's definitely worth finding out what your North Node is, okay? And how best to use it. So let's get some more cards. We have Sagittarius. Love that. Sagittarius is the 9th house. Okay. everything to do with, it rules the ninth house, spirituality, religion, your belief systems, your philosophy, studying and learning, higher education, even travel, long distance travel. I like to say seeing things big picture. So go back and read about that ninth. Now, we're talking Capricorn energy around it. So where maybe are you a little too strict, a little too, I said in pile one, like you've got the boundary set up really tight around it because you want to succeed and nothing's going to stand in your way of success. So what it does is it may close other things off. So where are you maybe a little too determined, a little too confident even, have the boundary set up a little too tight in that ninth house? Okay, you may want to go in and look at that, and that is where you will release and let go. Now, I'm going to read this. Hunt and purpose. If reaching a goal is your command, your desires you must learn to master. Well, I like that because I would say that is Capricorn energy here, right? With the fire of Sagittarius behind it. You want to reach a goal, but with the Sagittarius energy, sometimes you can run off here, run off. You get so excited. You know, this is your goal. Next thing you know, you're going this way, you're going that way. So you have to learn to master that energy in order to reach your goal. That may be a message for someone here. We have acceptance. The number 4 could be important to you. All right, number 4. I almost feel it kind of comes back in here with this destiny as well. And the challenge, understand that sometimes when we're trying to fulfill our destiny, oh, sorry, I need to give my candle a little, it's, you know, there's too much. I cut the wick too short one time and now it's just burns itself out. Maybe that's an important message for someone. Are you burning yourself out? You need to release and let go of that. This, maybe you're working too hard, overworking, too determined, too focused. You may want to release and let go of some of that energy. But what I feel is accepting. Look, I almost feel like accepting from the heavens, and they are reaching down, you're reaching up, and there's a current in between. It's almost like you have a destiny. You just need to figure it out. You need to accept that in some way, pile 2. Okay, but let's start getting into the rest of the cards here. I'm just going to move this over because there's purpose to that destiny. Okay, have faith in your dreams. All right, we don't have a house here, and that's okay. This just could be, I'm going to still pull tarot with it. Have faith in your dreams. Maybe what you've always dreamt about is your destiny, and spirit is really coming in strong and I don't know, having you think about it. Okay, 7 of Wands, thinking about it a lot because they want you to get on that path. They want you to start heading in that direction. All right, think of your North Node as a path that you need to get on. And maybe for some of you with this 7 of Wands, you've really had to defend to other people, maybe even yourself, your ego, okay? Because we have our ego, our mind, we have our soul, I call it our heart, our emotions, our gut that leads us. And sometimes that ego wants to overtake the soul, and sometimes the soul can tend to overtake the ego, right? Or in this case, if it's just you, a battle with yourself, it can also be other people with the 7 of Wands. You've had to be really resilient because other people have been, I want to say, poo-pooing your dreams. They've been telling you, well, that's silly. Why would you want to do that? That's ridiculous. But your dream is your dream, and maybe your dream is your destiny. For some of you, that will be your message, right? It is. You have to have faith in it. Be resilient. Don't listen to what the other people are saying, poking and prodding you with, okay? You need to move forward yourself in what it is that you have faith and belief in when it comes to your dreams and wishes, the things you want to bring into reality, and you might find it's your North Node. So, love that. Next, we have new moon in Scorpio. Well, now we have the 8th house. okay, which is everything to do with transformation, death and rebirth, right? Getting rid, like we're doing with this full moon energy, getting rid of what it is that no longer serves you and bringing in what does. And when I said up here that it could even be with yourself, just being too rigid, a little too stern, a little too serious with that Capricorn Saturn energy, right? You may have to just ease up a little bit. Maybe you need to go deeper into the emotional side of things to figure out what your dreams, what your destiny is. I feel like this is a very important message for you. Some of you, it's resonating with strongly. For others, you just need to go now read about the 9th house and the 8th house, which also is anything joint finances, right? With other people, like debts, it could be inheritances, anything hidden below the surface, right? Think of a table. I always think it's just under the table. It wants to come out usually. You may need to go a little deeper and figure out what's hidden down there below the surface, okay? And even what's considered taboo. Where do you need to release and let go of there? Okay, could you be having right now, I'm going to say issues for some of you with family when it comes to an inheritance, a will or something like that, and everyone's not on the same page. There may be something that needs to be released and let go of there. Okay, it could be about debts or shared debts and money. They may not be saving it the same way you would be saving it. There's going to need to be a resolution there, right? Something may need to be released and let go of, whether it's you or them. We have the star inspiration. I love that that's coming out here with have faith in your dreams, because the star for me is always your dreams and wishes, trying to bring them to the forefront and just going with the flow, not worrying about the other people, not putting too many limitations. I feel with the Capricorn and Saturn energy, putting too many limitations on yourself, too tight of boundaries. So go deeper, figure out what that inspiration is here, okay? Again, you may be hearing some of these and it's resonating. Not all will. Different people, different things. Excuse me, just let me get the flame going here again. But it will be different for everyone. All right. You just take what resonates with you. Next out, we have take a risk. Love that. Okay. So take a risk. Perfect. Maybe for some of you, you have to take a risk. Maybe this isn't going to happen unless you're willing to take a risk on your destiny, on your dreams, all right? Or taking a risk of releasing and letting go, as hard as that may be in some areas in that 8th or 9th house. I think that's all we've had, isn't it? The 8th or 9th. Yeah. Yes, it is. So if you've already read for the 8th and 9th and you were like, oh, this isn't really resonating, go back and read again, because Spirit's saying maybe go a little deeper. Does it have something to do with your North Node, your destiny, your dreams and wishes, something you're inspired by? What may be holding you back from that? That's what needs to be released and let go of, okay? Let's get a tarot here with Take a Risk. And accepting all of this, accepting that there is a better way, I guess. 3 of Wands, communication, love it. Okay, because that 3 of Wands is you're going to make a plan. You're going to go deeper. You're going to figure it out. Maybe you're going to get a natal chart reading, okay? Like I said, I do them and I talk a lot about the North Node. And because it's important, I have it right here, the North and the South. I feel strongly about the North Node. But yeah, like you need to make the plan. You need to figure this out, and then you need to go after it. Okay, you need to go after it. You need to set out and go after it. You need to take the risk. I almost feel like this is the compass, right? You need to follow your compass. Okay, pile 2. Let's read this card, and then I'm also going to get another Moon Magic card for you. I choose to take a higher perspective and widen my views. Well, that is very 9th house, looking at things big picture, okay? And maybe by going deeper, you're choosing to take a higher perspective and widen your views. You may need to dig down and really figure out what that means for you. I feel again, when it comes to your destiny, your dreams. But let's get another card here for you before we go, pile 2. Remember, this is about releasing and letting go. So whatever it is in that 8th or 9th house, whatever it is when it comes to what you believe your destiny is, if you've thought long and hard about that, maybe it's accepting things. Maybe it's, like I said, something to do with the 8th or 9th house or your dreams here, or taking a risk, being adverse to taking a risk. Because Capricorns, I think they'll take that energy, will take a risk out this one here, but it can also just be so stern and strict and set in its ways. Beauty raises my vibration. I seek it out for healing and joy. You can think of releasing and letting go. Like I said, it's transformation, right? With this 8th house energy here. It's a time to let go of the past, let go what's not serving you, let it heal. And then you bring in what does, which is bringing the joy back in. So pile 2, this is your message for this full moon with the Capricorn energy. I hope that this resonated in some way and you're able to, work through this as you're releasing and letting go of any of that Capricorn energy in these areas. All right, I'll see you next time.